morning dear students. Welcome back to the online class. Today we are going to see the last lesson in science chapter 15, air around us. Children, with this lesson we are going to complete our science portion for the academic year 2021. Okay children, so let's see the last lesson in science chapter 15, air around us. Children, all living things need air to breathe. Without air we cannot live in this world. Yes children, so without air we cannot able to survive in this world. Have you ever seen air children? No, we cannot see the air, but you can feel the presence of air, isn't it? For example, if you take the leaves of a trees will be moving here and there, flying here and there, isn't it? And as well as the cloth hanging on the cloth line sway, moving this side and that side, and even the pages of the open book fluttering, opening and closing, fluttering when the fan is switched on, isn't it children? So these things happen due to the presence of air. Children, air is present everywhere around us. We cannot see the air, but we can feel the air. Yes or no? So for that time we are going to do one small activity. Let us do the small activity children. Children, I have an empty glass bottle in my hand. Is it really empty? Can you see anything is there? It is nothing. It is empty glass bottle. It is really empty? No. But something is there inside the bottle. What is there inside the bottle? Air. Okay, what is there inside the bottle? Air. So let's do the activity to find whether the empty bottle air has air inside or not. We are going to find with the help of an activity. Let's do the activity children. Yes, see here children, I have taken the empty water bottle, nothing is there. Okay, now what I am going to do, this bottle I am going to dip it in the bucket containing water. See, here bucket is there, water is there. So I am going to dip this water bottle inside the bucket. Keep it upside down. Just push the bottle upside down in the water. Is this water is going inside? See, water is not going inside. Okay, now what you will do, tilt the bottle little bit, slightly tilt it. Okay, now you can see some bubbles is coming out. Can you see the bubbles children? Okay, so these bubbles are nothing, that is inside the water bottle air is there. So when you tilt the water bottle, what has happened? The air is getting escape from the water bottle in the form of bubble, and the water is entering inside the water bottle. So you can see the bubbles is coming out from the water. But when I dip the water bottle little bit slightly slanting position, you can see the bubbles is coming out. You can try this children. So from this activity you can understand that air occupies space. Yes children, I think you have understood this activity. So children, from this activity we can come to know that air occupies space. So it is present everywhere, and if we take the air, it has no color, no smell, and one can see through it. So air is an transparent material. Have you heard this word transparent somewhere else? Yes, in 4th lesson, sorting material into group, here we have studied about transparent, translucent, opaque object, isn't it? So what is called transparent? So a light can pass through a straight line, that is called a transparent object. So in between you and me, what is there? Air is there. So I can see you and you can see me. So in between air is there. So air is a transparent material. So air has no color, no smell, and it is a transparent substance. Okay. So even our earth is surrounded by thin layer of air, and this layer extends up to many kilometers above the surface of the earth, and it is called as what? Atmosphere. So this atmosphere was covered by a thick blanket of layer called air. Air is present around the atmosphere, and if you take the atmosphere, there are different layers of atmosphere will be there that you people have studied in your lower class children. What are the different layers of atmosphere? Can you guess children? Yes, troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, exosphere. All these are different layers of atmosphere, that is layer of air you can see in the atmosphere, isn't it children? So if you take all these layer having the temperature will be varies. Okay, so that's why even the mountain air, when you are climbing the mountain, they used to carry oxygen cylinder along with them. Why they are carrying oxygen cylinder along with them? Because when they go higher and higher, the air become very thin, so they cannot able to breathe, so that they used to carry oxygen cylinder along with them to climb the mountain. Children, till 18th century people thought that air is only one substance. After that, many experiment has proved that air is a mixture of many gases. So today's class we are going to learn some of the major component of the mixture, such as water vapor, oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide and dust and smoke. So we are going to learn all these major components of air in our lesson today. Yes children, let us see the first component, that is water vapor. Children, air, if you take air, air contains water vapor. When air come in contact with the cool surface, it condenses and drops of water will be appearing on the cool surface. And if you take water vapor, it plays an important role in water cycle in nature, that you have learnt in your previous lesson chapter 14 water. So if you take water vapor will be present in the air. So the amount of water vapor present in the air, it is called as humidity. Okay, humidity. So if we take humidity, the amount of humidity will be vary from place to place based on the climatic condition. There in some place there will be more water vapor will be there, and in some place less amount of water vapor will be there. So more amount of water vapor is there, so in that place will be called as more humidity, and less amount of water vapor is there, it is called as what? Less humidity. Okay children. Okay, now we will see to the next component, that is about oxygen. So if we take oxygen, oxygen is very much needed for the human being, plants and animal to survive in this world. Not only for the plants, animals and human being, for burning fire also we need oxygen, okay, because oxygen will support burning. Oxygen will support burning. Let's do an experiment for this children. I have taken 2 shallow container and 2 candle of equal size, and in that I am pouring water of equal amount also, equal amount of water also I am pouring in both the shallow container. Okay, and then I am going to light the candle. Okay, with the help of fire I am going to light the candle. After lighting the candle, I am going to cover the candle with a tumbler. So if you take, I am going to take 2 tumbler of different size. One will be bigger in size and another will be little bit smaller in size. So what will happen when I close this? The tumbler which is small in size, the candle will put off immediately. The tumbler which is bigger in size, it will burn for few seconds and then it will put off, because if you take the oxygen in the bigger one will have few more oxygen when compared to the smaller tumbler. So it will be burning for a few seconds and then it will put off. Once it put off, what will happen? The water in the shallow container will rise in the tumbler. You can see in this activity. See here children, I have just covered the tumbler. So the first one is put off and the second one it takes after some time it is put off. So and then what will happen? You can see the water level also has raised in the tumbler. Okay, this is because of presence of air. Yes children, did you understood the activity? So burning, that is for burning things we need oxygen. So either to put off the fire or to burn well we need what? Oxygen. Okay children. So let's move on to the next component. So when did you observe in the activity what we did now? So presence of some component of air is there in the inverted glass. Okay, that air is called nitrogen. So even though some gases is there inside the tumbler, it will not support the burning fire, that is called nitrogen. Nitrogen will not support burning. Okay, so when you light a candle and it covered with the inverted glass, what will happen? For a few seconds the candle will burn, because inside the tumbler we have some oxygen is there. With the help of oxygen the candle will start burning. Once the oxygen got exhausted, it will put off. Okay, the candle will put off, and what will happen? Inside nitrogen will be there. This nitrogen will not support the candle to burn, so it will not support the burning. And if we take this nitrogen, nearly 4/5 of the space of air was filled by nitrogen. So if we take the atmosphere, 4/5 of the air was occupied by the nitrogen. Yes children, we will move on to the next component. The next component is carbon dioxide. If we take carbon dioxide, makes up a small component of air around us. When you burn plant and animal matter, they consume oxygen and produce carbon dioxide and few other gases. Children, you have learned the plant, that is in lesson 7 you have studied that plant will prepare its own food with the help of carbon dioxide, sunlight, and with the help of a green pigment called chlorophyll, and that process is called photosynthesis. Okay, when they are preparing, what will happen? It will release oxygen and it will take carbon dioxide, isn't it? This the plant will release oxygen, and which is very much needed for the human beings and animal, isn't it? And if we take plants, sometimes the plant will also consume oxygen for respiration and will produce oxygen. It will happen during night time, because during daytime sunlight is there. With the help of sunlight, and that is it will take carbon dioxide from the atmosphere in the presence of sunlight to prepare its food. But during night time there is no sunlight, so they cannot take carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. So instead of that, it will take oxygen from the atmosphere for the respiration during night time. So that only it is advised us not to sleep under the trees, near the trees during the night time, because the plant will release carbon dioxide and it will take oxygen. When we will get oxygen from the plant, isn't it? So when we sleep near the trees, the plant will release carbon dioxide. So when we sleep near the tree, what will happen? We have to observe the carbon dioxide, because it will release carbon dioxide and it will absorb oxygen. Okay children, so the last component is about dust and smoke. Okay, even in the air, what is the, not only the gas, even the dust and smoke also will be present inside in the air. Okay, if it takes smoke, okay, what will happen if the burning fluid produce smokes and it mix with the air, isn't it? And few smokes are very harmful to the human being, even that is especially that is smoke from the factories. What will happen? It has a harmful substance which cause harmful disease for the human being, isn't it? So if we take a big factories will be having a long chimneys will be there. Why they have long chimneys, children? Because this long chimneys will take away the smoke that is away from our human's nostril itself, because a big factory having a big chimneys will be there. So the chimneys will be far away from the human being, where the human beings are living, so that this harmful smoke will be sent away from a human being nostril, so that we cannot we will not inhale that. But if we take the birds that is flying near to the chimneys will be affected by this harmful smoke. Okay, next we are going to study about the dust particle. Okay, so if we take dust particle, smoke we can able to see clearly, and if we take air we can feel the air. So how will we see the dust particle present in the air, children? For that a small activity is there. Through this activity you can find the dust particle present in the air. For that we need to close all the doors and windows in our house, children. Okay, after closing all the doors and window, make the room dark. After making the room dark, okay, just open only one door so that sunlight can enter into the room. When the sunlight enter, when you observe the sunlight, the beam of light will be entering through one side, from the one side of the window. You can see the dust particle will be rolling in the beam of sunlight. Okay, so these are small dust particle. Okay, we can, this very tiny dust particles will be there. So from this activity we can understand that even dust particle is present in the air. So this activity, after finishing this class, you can try it, children. So this activity shows that air has dust particle. So children, when we inhale the oxygen, what will happen? This tiny dust particle also will, along with when we are inhaling along with the oxygen, this tiny particle will go inside our nostrils. Okay, so when you inhale this dust particle, what will happen? It will go through your nose and will go to the windpipe and it will go to your respiratory system. You will be affected by that. This dust particle will affect your respiratory system. How to protect your respiratory system, children? For that we have a tiny air particle, the air like things is there inside your nose, and a mucus material is there. So what will happen? When you inhale the air or oxygen along with the dust particle, this dust particle will go and stick in the fine air or in the mucus material. So what will happen? So you can protect your nostril from this tiny dust particle present in the air. So that's why when you wake up in the morning, when you take bath, you will be cleaning your nose. Are you cleaning your nose, children? So when you clean your nose, you can see the dust particle present in your nose. Okay, all this when you inhale, what will happen? It will go and stick in the fine air or mucus substance. So children, we have studied about some major components of air, such as water vapor, oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, and the smoke and dust particle we have studied, isn't it? And if we take all these all the components of mixture, there is some variation will be there. Okay, so if we take the composition of air present in the atmosphere, mostly nitrogen and oxygen together makes 99% of air. Okay, and remaining 1% is what? Carbon dioxide and other gases. Okay, so 99% of component, that is in the air, nitrogen and oxygen only is present. Only 1% is carbon dioxide and few other gases. Other gases like such as dust particle, smoke, all these consist of 1% only. So what we have to do, children? We need to keep our air clean, and we should not pollute the air, isn't it? Because this air is very much needed for our human being to survive in this world. Yes or no, children? Children, if we take human beings and some animal, will breathe oxygen from the atmosphere through our nose, isn't it, children? So then think about the animals and the plants living in the soil as well as in water, how they will breathe. Okay, so we are going to learn about that children. Okay, first we will see how the animal living in the water will breathe. Okay, so for that a small activity we are going to do, children. Come children, let us do this activity given in page number 151, activity 5. So see here I have kept the water in a vessel and I have started eating. So when you see the inner surface of the vessel, now the water has started boiling. So when you see the inner surface of the vessel, you can see small tiny drop, that is bubbles are there. Can you able to see, children? So now the water is started boiling. So when the water started boiling, so even if you take presence of air will be there in the water. So when the water starts boiling, air will be escape in the form of bubble. So when the water slowly started boiling, so you can see the tiny bubbles will be coming out, that is air is coming out in the form of bubble. So if you take the water started boiling nicely, what will happen, and after some time this water will change into vapor. So water will change into vapor, and that process is called evaporation, that you have studied in your chapter 8 and 9, that is body movement as well as living organisms and surroundings. You have studied about the evaporation. See, now you can see, children, the water is nicely boiling nicely. You can see many bubbles are coming. So it will slowly, when you continue eating this water, it will slowly change into what? Vapor. So that process is called evaporation. When animals which is lives in the water will get the oxygen which is dissolved in the water. Even we did an activity, the boiling water, bubbles has come. This bubbles is nothing, air is escape from the boiling one. As you continue eating the water, what will happen? The small bubbles are coming out from the water. This is nothing, air is escape from the water. Okay, now let's see the animal which lives in the soil. If we take some animal like rabbit, rat, earthworm, small ants and all will be living in the soil, how they will breathe, how they will get air from the soil. Let's see, children. Okay, so if for that a small activity you can try this, children. Okay, so if we take a box of soil, in that if you pour water, when you pour the water on the top of the soil, you can see bubble is coming from the soil. Okay, so when you pour the water in the soil, if you take a soil is very porous, so it is having lot of space will be there, and air is present inside the soil. So when you pour the water in the porous soil, what will happen? Bubbles will be coming out from the soil. That means what? Air is escaped from the soil. When you pour the water is occupying the space where the air is, and where air is getting escaped from the soil. Okay, so if you take a lot of burrows and holes will be formed in the deep soil by the animals living in the soil. Okay, if you take the animals such as rabbit, rats and small insects like earthworm will be living in the soil. So the soil is the dwelling home, that is home for these animals. Okay, when it rains heavily, what will happen? Water will be fill up all the space occupied by the air in the soil. So what will happen to these animals? They will be losing their house during the rainy season. So what will happen? They have to come out from the soil, and they have to find some other place for respiration. That's why you can see during rainy season many insects will be coming and occupying your house. Have you seen, children? During rainy season, earthworm will be coming, or small insects will be coming. Why? These insects will be living inside the soil. Okay, so soil is the home for these animals. So when they are living in the soil, once the rain comes, what will happen? Rain will occupy the space where the air is present inside the soil, so that these insects cannot able to breathe. So they will come out from the soil and they'll search place for respiration. So from this, now you can understand that even soil as in the soil also, what is the presence of air is there. Okay children, so children, if you take large number of organisms such as plants, animal, human beings, small tiny insects, all are consuming oxygen. So all are consuming oxygen means we want a lot of oxygen should be present in this atmosphere, isn't it? Then who is refilling the atmosphere? We don't know who is that replacing the atmosphere, the oxygen, isn't it? So if we take the balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is maintained through the respiration in plants and animals. That is the process called photosynthesis that we have studied earlier. Okay, so if we take plant will prepare their own food with the help of sunlight, carbon dioxide, water, and that process is called photosynthesis, isn't it? It will take carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and leaves what? Oxygen, isn't it? So this carbon dioxide was given by the human being as well as animal, isn't it? And it was taken by plant, and the plant will release oxygen which is needed for plants and human beings. So both plants, animals and human beings are interdependent on each other. So they are interdependent on each other. So but during night time, what the plant will do? The plant will take oxygen. Okay, the plant will take oxygen from the atmosphere as it is not having sunlight during night time to prepare the food. So what it will do? It will take oxygen from the atmosphere. But how much of oxygen is it is taking? More than that it will produce the oxygen. Okay, more of it will produce the oxygen. How much it is taking? More than double it will produce the oxygen to the atmosphere. Yes children, we have come to the end of the session children. Okay children, did you heard about the windmill children? The windmill, whenever you are going out of station, you can see on the way, you can see windmill will be always rotating, isn't it? So who makes the windmill rotate? The wind makes the windmill rotate. And if you take the windmill, there are many uses of windmills will be there. It is used to draw water from tube wells, it will used to run the flour mills, and also it is used to generate electricity, and even it is used for the movement of parachutes, aeroplanes and gliders. All these things are used by the wind only. Okay, even the birds and bats and some insects can fly, that is presence of air. And even if we take the plant dispersal of seed, I think if people have studied in the lower class, dispersal of seeds, scattering the seeds away from the mother plant, that also take place with the help of air. So air plays an important role in each and everyone's life. Okay children, so what is our duty children? So we need to take care of air. Okay, we should not pollute the air, we should keep the air clean. Okay, yes children. Okay, so we have finished the lesson. Now let us revise the lesson from the book. Children, we will revise from the book. So if we take book page number 147 about air around us lesson. So in that activity 1, they are saying to make a firki on our own. You have seen this firki children? So small children will be using the firki. So when you have the firki in your hand, if you keep in front of air, what will happen? It will rotate. So small children used to play with the firki. You on seeing the book, you can try the firki on your, take a A4 paper, draw like this, you can cut it and you can make the firki on your own. And the introduction of air is given, and then activity, what activity we did, it is given here. Even you can try this activity children. And then how the mountaineers carry oxygen cylinder. Why? Because when they go higher and higher, what will happen? Air become thin, so that they cannot able to breathe properly, so they used to carry oxygen cylinder along with that. And some major component about water vapor, oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, and as well dust and smoke is given. So we have revised. Once again you take a book and read children. Okay, then only you will understand. Okay, and then activity 4 about the smoke, how to find the dust from your house. You can see, even the picture is given in the next page number 150. You can see it children. Okay, and then how the animals that lives in soil as well as water, they are getting air, whether soil and air, soil and water also contain air, it's there with the help of activity also we did, isn't it? And last we have studied about the windmill. Okay children, so this is about our lesson, the last lesson in science book. So I want everybody to, all the children to take a book and you have to read the book after finishing this class children. Yes children, now we will revise the NOL part, the short answer and the detailed answer. Yes children, shall we revise from our NOL? Okay, take out your NOL, chapter 15, air around us. Roman number 1, question from textbook. Question number 1, what is the composition of air? Answer, air is a mixture of nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, water vapor, and a few other gases. Some dust particle may also be present in it. Now, the second question, which gas in the atmosphere is essential for respiration? So, for respiration, which is very important, children? Yes, it is oxygen. Third question, how will you show that air support burning? Answer, take a small burning candle, cover the burning candle with a glass jar. After a few minutes, the candle is extinguished. As the supply of air is stopped due to the glass jar, the burning candle is also stopped. This experiment proves that air support burning. So children, for this we have did an activity, so you people have understood clearly that for burning we need what? Oxygen. Fourth question, how will you show that air is dissolved in water? Take some water in a glass vessel or beaker, heat it slowly on a tripod stand. Before the bottle begins to boil, look carefully at the inner surface of the vessel. You will see tiny bubbles on the inside. On heating, air dissolved in water escape in the form of these bubbles. The question, why does a lump of cotton wool shrink in water? Lump of cotton wool has air amongst gaps of cotton fiber. When water replaces the air from these gaps, the cotton lumps become heavy and also shrink due to the removal of air gaps. Sixth question, the layer of air around the earth is known as atmosphere. So read the spelling, children, correctly. ATMOSPHERE, atmosphere. Number seventh one, the component of air used by green plant to make their food is carbon dioxide. One of the component of air is what? Carbon dioxide. Eighth question, list 5 activities that are possible due to presence of air. The activities that are possible due to presence of air are: A. To make a simple freaking. B. To make a weathercock. C. To breathe for survival. D. For burning of substance. E. For photosynthesis. All these things we have discussed in the class. Yes, children. Ninth question, how do plants and animals help each other in exchange of gases in atmosphere? Plants and animals use oxygen from air during respiration and release carbon dioxide gas in air. But green plant also release oxygen gas by using carbon dioxide during photosynthesis. Thus, we can say that animals and plants help each other in exchange of gases. Okay, children. Now, Roman number 2, short answer type questions. First one, what is the component of air which is used by the green plant to make their food? What is the answer? Carbon dioxide. Second question, list any 4 activities that are possible due to the presence of air. The activities which are possible due to the presence of air are: number 1, breathe for survival of all animals. Number B, a weathercock can be made. Number C, burning of any substances require air. And number last one is for photosynthesis in plants. Third question, identify the necessary condition for rusting of iron to occur. What is the answer? Rusting of iron occurs only when there is moisture and air present in the surrounding. Therefore, the availability of air and water vapor in the air are 2 essential conditions for the iron to rust. Fourth question, what is the device which uses the wind energy for producing electricity? Answer, windmills are the device that use wind energy and convert it into electrical energy. Fifth question, what would happen if the percentage of carbon dioxide increases in the air? Answer, if the carbon dioxide percentage increases, it will cause a greenhouse effect. That is, the carbon dioxide present in our atmosphere will not allow the hot rays of sun to escape back into space from the atmosphere after reflection. Yes, children, last Roman number 3, scientific term. First one, relative humidity. What is the first one? Relative humidity. What is the answer? A measure of moisture present in the air. A measure of moisture present in the air. Second one, respiration, process in living organisms involving the intake of oxygen and release of carbon dioxide. What is the second answer? Process in living organisms involving the intake of oxygen and release of carbon dioxide. Yes, children. So we have completed the NOL part, that is scientific term, short answer type question and question from textbook. Now let us move to the detailed answer. Yes, children, now we will revise the detailed answer. Answer in detail. The first question, explain air a mixture. Answer, air is made up of nearly 78% of nitrogen, 21% of oxygen, 0.9% of argon, 0.04% of water vapor, 0.03% of carbon dioxide, and the remaining 0.03% are the other inert gases. Okay, now we will revise the each and every component in detail. The first one is nitrogen. Nitrogen constitutes 78% of air. It does not support combustion. What is meant by combustion, children? Combustion means burning. So nitrogen will not support burning. Plants need nitrogen to grow. Fertilizer containing nitrogen are added to plant to fulfill the requirement of nitrogen. So nitrogen will not support burning, but it helps the plant to grow. The second component is oxygen. Air consists of about 21% of oxygen. The presence of oxygen is essential for survival of living organisms. The third one, carbon dioxide. Atmosphere contains about 0.03% of carbon dioxide. Plant take in carbon dioxide in the presence of air and release oxygen into the atmosphere. CO2 means carbon dioxide, O2 means oxygen. Okay, and the last one is water vapor. Water vapor is formed due to evaporation and heating of water. It is important for the water cycle in nature. Yes, children, we will revise the odds now. Okay, Roman number 2, odds. Number first one, what is CNG? What is the answer? CNG is the compressed natural gas and it is a fossil fuel substitute for petrol and diesel. Second one, healthy person breathes 22,000 times a day and takes in about 16 kg of air. The third question, why the traffic policeman wears a mask? Why they wear mask, children? Answer is to protect from pollution. Number fourth one, in which layer of atmosphere can we see the clouds, rain and snow? So we discussed many layers, no children, exosphere, troposphere, stratosphere. The first layer is troposphere. So in that layer only we can see the clouds, rain and snow. The fifth question, why the human being carry oxygen cylinder when diving under sea? So children, we discussed that people used to carry oxygen cylinder when they are climbing the mountain. But when they are diving under the sea, why they are carrying oxygen cylinder? Sea water contains dissolved oxygen which is not enough for the human being to breathe. So sea divers are carrying oxygen cylinder along with them. So like fish, they cannot breathe through gills. So they have to carry oxygen cylinder even when they are diving under the sea. So children, we have completed the NOL part and the detailed answer as well as odds. Yes, children, I hope everybody understood the lesson. Even we have revised from the book as well as from the NOL part we have revised. And this is the last lesson in science, and we have completed the science portion for the academic year 2020 and 21, children. And thank you for your support and your patience for this whole academic year 2021, and all the very best for your CRP as well as YA exam. Study well, take care of your health, write your exam well and come up with the flying colors, children. Thank you dear parents and thank you students. Thank you.